On the night before the wedding, my girlfriend accidentally sent the wrong message in our chat. I'm so over it. What if I don't want to get hitched? Lately, every day with her feels like pure agony. It's too much. She's about to set up the wedding venue today. What am I going to do? How can I make her dump me before the big day? And then I saw her planning the venue. The messages kept buzzing, but my heart just kept sinking. Is this a prank? After a bit, she noticed I hadn't replied and casually sent a voice note. Hey, Alex, why aren't you hitting me back? The girl's voice was sweet, but had a bit of an edge. It couldn't be wrong. It was Lily's voice, the girl I was about to marry. And Bella is her bestie. Maybe because I didn't respond for so long, or maybe Lily suddenly realized she messaged the wrong person. She started retracting the message quickly. I was in shock. The wedding planner beside me asked, Mr. Lee, what kind of centerpieces are you thinking of for the reception? I glanced at the frantic recall messages on my phone, massaging my temples a little. Sorry, let's put a hold on the planning for today. On the ride home, I leaned back, closed my eyes to chill. But memories of the first time I met Lily kept flooding in. 5 years back, at the Freshman Expo, I was there as a standout graduate and entrepreneur giving a speech, and Lily was performing at the welcome ceremony. On stage, she was as graceful as a swan. But backstage, she was quietly crying when someone found her. She was embarrassed and kinda annoyed. What's up? Need any help? I asked politely, keeping my distance, ready to be turned down. But Lily unexpectedly said, I twisted my ankle. Can you take me to the infirmary? Her cheeks were a bit red, looking awkward. Sure thing. I crouched down and helped her up. Her cheeks still flushed, she let out a soft gasp, then hugged me. It was so cliché, super typical, but she was so stunning that everything felt like a rom-com. When I got home, it was already 7 p.m. Lily was lounging on the couch gaming when she heard the knock at the door. She turned to look at me. There was a hint of tension in her expression that was hard to miss. Did you see the message I sent you today? Under her gaze, I hesitated and said, Sorry, I've been swamped today. Lily turned as if relieved, then snorted coldly. You came back so late, I haven't even had dinner. I loosened my tie a bit and massaged my aching temples. Lily, I'm kinda wiped today. Can we get takeout or have the maid cook? Earlier, since Lily wasn't used to having others around, I arranged for the maid to just do regular cleaning. And Lily's a total kitchen disaster, so I handled all 3 meals at home. It took me 5 years to go from not knowing how to cook to actually making decent food. Oh, then you rest, I ain't eating. A bit cold and then impatient, her voice came from the couch. I knew she was pissed. If it was earlier, I'd have gone to soothe her, but today I wasn't feeling it, especially after seeing her message to Bella. I just nodded and headed to my bedroom to rest. Then, something fell behind me. I paused but didn't look back. I lay in bed, my head kinda foggy. As I drifted off, there was loud laughter outside the door. I frowned, opened it, and walked out. Lily, I'm chilling. Can you keep it down? Before she could respond, a guy's voice came from her phone. Sorry, sis. My bad for disturbing your bro's rest and making you get yelled at. It's all on me. It's not your fault. I'm just in a bad mood. And you playing games with me is actually something I should thank you for. Don't worry about today. I'll hang up first. Let's reschedule for tomorrow. I watched the scene unfold, feeling a bit harsh and absurd. My girlfriend, right in front of me, casually comforting another guy. Lily, who was hanging up, had a cold expression. Alex, I was just gaming with someone. You making a big deal out of it? Didn't you see I'm in a bad mood? Who are you showing off to with that serious face? Is it fun? Lily, sitting next to the couch, kept complaining but tried to cover up her feelings. At that moment, I felt super uninterested. So I interrupted her calmly and said, This isn't fun. Let's break up. Lily suddenly choked, stunned for a moment, then incredulously said, What did you say? Let's break up. You want to break up and our engagement party is about to happen. Invitations are sent out. Parents and friends all know. How am I supposed to explain it if you break up now? I stood in the dark, unable to show my expression. But what I was thinking was this was why she was being cold and didn't break up earlier. It's just absurd. People talk about the 7-year itch, but we didn't even make it 5. This relationship is dying. I'll explain to them. You can tell them it's my fault. This is the last respect I can give to her and this relationship. Alex, you better not regret this. There was anger in Lily's face, but I saw a flicker of joy in her eyes. I nodded slightly and looked at the dark night sky outside. It's too late today. You can pack up and move out tomorrow. Lily looked up at me, her delicate brows showing some anger. No need. I'll move now. I was puzzled, not knowing why she suddenly flipped. But I didn't push, just calmly asked, "Your stuff might be a lot. Need me to call someone to help? I can pack it myself, don't worry." After being rejected again, feeling dizzy, I didn't stay in the living room long. I took some meds and went back to my room to rest. I slept deeply and woke up early the next morning. Lily had already moved all her stuff out. I looked at the now empty room, stunned for a sec, then went to the kitchen. After all, I saw this coming, didn't I? I met Lily again 3 months later. During those months, I told everyone around me about breaking up with Lily and called off the wedding. Some folks were sad and regretful, others pissed. You two were about to get hitched, and then this happened. Life's really unpredictable. That drama queen Lily, only Alex could handle her, treated her like a treasure. I just shook my head with a smile, and my chill parents called me. "Alex, you're almost 30. We're worried about your life plans. Since free love didn't work out, let's follow parental orders and set you up with a matchmaker. We've arranged a blind date for you. Check it out in a few days." I had a headache. "Mom, I just broke up a few months ago. I ain't looking to date or marry now. We've already talked with her folks. Remember to go on time. By the way, the girl's name is Mia." I helplessly held my forehead but still went to the meeting. But to my surprise, Mia and I hit it off great. Turns out she was a classmate of mine. When Mia and I finished dinner, the sun was setting and the weather was a bit cool. I looked at Mia in her long dress. After asking for her opinion, I put my coat on her. And then Lily showed up. "Alex, what's your deal with her?" Lily hurried to my side, her face a bit dark, her voice raised questioning. Lily looked at Mia with a scrutinizing gaze, dissatisfaction and anger in her eyes clear. I subconsciously stepped aside to block Mia, apologizing. "Sorry, miss, got something to handle. Let the driver take you home first." About my past with Lily. I didn't mean to drag Mia into this. It was just a meal per both families' wishes. Mia had no reason to join the drama. Mia nodded, glanced at Lily, then smiled. "Mr. Lee, I had a great time today. Looking forward to next time." Then she turned and left with the driver. "Alex, how long have you been single? Found someone new already?" The sarcasm in her voice wore me down. My gaze fell on Lily and the guy next to her, not quite understanding. "I saw the message you sent Bella. Didn't you always want to break up?" I tried to respond, but Lily interrupted. "It's not. If you're trying to use another woman to upset me about the breakup, then congrats, you nailed it." Of course, during the breakup, I did reflect on things. 5 years together, it's normal to lose some spark. But since you still love me, I'll give us another shot. I looked at the charity in Lily's face and found it kind of funny. Why would she think I'd just wait around forever? I hid my smile and chilled my gaze. "First, we've been single for 3 months now. We're just strangers. Why should I wait for you always? And dating others to piss you off isn't just insulting to me, but also disrespectful to others. Finally, I want to say we're done. No turning back." I thought she'd get it after talking for so long, but Lily just looked at me, then sneered. "Alex, you better not regret this." After that day, Lily started frequently updating her WeChat with photos and dates with her new guy. According to her posts, this guy had been chasing her for a while. Seeing Lily's smiling face on my phone brought back buried memories. Flashback to when I first saw Lily, I knew she was headstrong and flashy. She wants what she wants and vents when unsatisfied. Even in pursuing someone, she was determined. After that freshman welcome ceremony, she asked for my contact info. Then, during the summer break, she interned at my company. Like most people, she used that chance to seek something special, like a not-so-skilled hunter. Bold attempts, naive sincerity, not-so-clever seduction. Lazy summer days, constant cicada sounds. The girl smiled, her eyes sparkling slyly. "Senior, you fell for me, didn't you?" Her eyes lit up with mischief, her gaze steady, full of expectation, a touch of unreasonable tantrum. After indulging without guilt, I recalled her recent determination. "Bet you're a regular guy. I'll get you to fall for me." The air was light and warm. I looked at her slyly smiling face, pulling my arm, suddenly wishing time would slow down, make the moment last longer. So I nodded, smiled calmly. "Yeah, I'm just a regular guy." Soft lips covered mine. I looked at her closed eyes, wrapped my arm around her waist, stepped closer and kissed back. The world seemed to come alive again, breezes rustling through this piece of heaven and earth. Fragrant flowers fell from the sky, surrounding us. I always thought this moment would last forever, but I underestimated how fickle feelings could be. My fingertip lingered on the phone for a moment. Then I deleted all her contact info. After meeting Mia, she'd occasionally invite me out for meals or fun. I knew it wasn't just both families' wish, but also Mia's. She's the only heir to the U group, and to stand strong, she needs solid backing. The cooperation between the Lee and Yu families is key, and marriage is the easiest way to seal it. Unlike Lily's playful stubbornness, Mia was like a bright, beautiful rose. What I didn't expect was to bump into Lily when out with Mia buying Mid-Autumn Festival gifts. I was sitting in the lounge waiting for Mia to change when the store door opened. Lily barged into my view with her new dude. She was leaning on his arm, playfully and softly, looking super cozy. I looked back, my heart not really reacting. Maybe those vows got drowned in daily fights. "Alex, a lazy girlfriend is behind me. You like it?" I turned to look back. Mia was staring at me with slightly drooped eyes, her lips curled in a gentle smile, wearing a black velvet slip dress. I turned again. Mia looked at me with slightly drooped eyes, the corners of her lips curved into a gentle arc. Her fair and tender skin seemed to glow under the crystal chandelier. Black hair and red lips, so stunning it was indescribable. I was a bit stunned, then snapped back, seriously said, "Very beautiful." Mia raised her eyebrows slightly, hooked a smile, and joked, "Good taste." Just as I was about to pay the bill, Lily approached after checking out Mia with an unclear look. She looked at me and said, "Alex, is this your new girlfriend?" I walked over to Mia, looked at Lily calmly, and said, "It's none of your business." Lily looked at my expressionless face. Suddenly, there was a moment of panic, as if she couldn't keep it together. "This is my boyfriend, Ken." She held the guy's hand next to her, her eyes fixed on me, trying to read my subtle expressions. But to her disappointment, I didn't respond. I just whispered to Mia, "Tired, let's go." "What about your little girlfriend?" "Oh, sorry, she's your ex-girlfriend now." Mia looked at Lily, whose face was a bit heavy, and smiled. I sighed helplessly. How come I didn't realize earlier that Mia was so sly? I grabbed the packed gift box. "My folks are still waiting for us, yeah." Today, the Lee and Yu families plan to have a meal together to discuss cooperation between the two companies. Lily on the side, her eyes slightly red. "Alex, are you taking her to meet your parents?" I had no intention of getting tangled up anymore, just said, "Yeah." As soon as the words left, I planned to turn around and leave. Lily behind me seemed a bit paranoid. "Alex, are you going to marry her? Why? Why are you leaving so fast?" I didn't answer. A touch of fatigue and annoyance surged in my eyes. She was the one who wanted to break up first, and it all went as she wished. So why the fuss? During our 5-year relationship, my obedience and respect for Lily didn't mean I had to indulge her all the time, obey her every command. Even after breaking up, I had to be called by her like a dog. "Lily, I'll say it one last time. We're done. Don't mess with my life anymore." If it happens again, I won't be so polite. Lily seemed a bit incredulous that I would talk to her like this. After all, during our relationship, I never spoke harshly to her. Alex, I don't need you either. Lily screamed behind me, but with a hint of fear she didn't even know. I didn't bother with Lily anymore. I just took the gift box and left with Mia. Sorry, you had to see that. I massaged my temples with a headache and explained to Mia, it's okay. I just didn't expect Mr. Lee to be so charming. Your ex-girlfriend hasn't let go yet. Is that so? Maybe she just can't move on. She can't let go of the fact that I'm not at her beck and call anymore. She can't handle that I've moved on so quickly. She can't handle that I'm moving to the next stage of my life. The most important thing today is the family dinner below. Miss you. I looked at Mia and raised my eyebrows slightly. Both parents always wanted us to be together. I had no choice but to pretend to be a couple with Mia, but tonight's dinner was probably a trap. What's there to fear at worst, right? Mia winked at me and teased, I'm so beautiful. Is Mr. One afraid of being taken advantage of? I looked at the woman in front of me with bright eyes and white teeth, blatantly flaunting herself, and couldn't help but smile. Of course not. Although it's a blessing to be taken advantage of, in the nosy space, an inexplicable emotion spread in my heart. When Mia and I arrived, both parents had taken their seats. So, this is Mia. What a gorgeous girl. My mom warmly took Mia's hand and set her down. I exchanged a worried look with Mia, fearing she couldn't handle it, but to my surprise, she smoothly navigated between both parents, making everyone laugh heartily. I shook my head with a smile, subconsciously placing the set meal carefully in front of Mia. When I came back to my senses, I was being stared at by several pairs of eyes. The warm praise of Mia's mother came to my ears. Your Alex is very thoughtful. He's a good guy who knows how to take care of people. Mia took her mom's arm, bowed her head, and smiled. I agree. Looking at this warm scene at the dinner table, an unfamiliar emotion surged in my heart but vanished instantly. It was midnight when we got home after dinner. Just as I was about to open the door, I suddenly stopped when I saw a shadow squatting at the entrance. Did you leave something here? I looked at Lily at the door, frowned, and asked. I wasn't sure if she really left something since the day after she left. The housekeeper came to clean. She should have cleared away any unnecessary stuff. I couldn't help but laugh. Sometimes, even fate has a plan. Why are you coming home so late? Lily raised her head and looked at me gloomily. I was a bit annoyed and said, We're done. You have a boyfriend now. Why are you still holding on? You weren't like this before. You never used to be so harsh with me. What's up? The sound of her crying came from Lily. If it was earlier, I'd have panicked and tried every way to soothe her. But now my heart was calm. Call your boyfriend and have him pick you up. Ken isn't my boyfriend. He's just someone I found to annoy you. Alex, can we get back together? I promise I won't be a nuisance anymore. I won't mention breaking up anymore. Okay. Lily looked up at me, reached out, and grabbed the corner of my clothes. Tears kept falling. I pulled my sleeve back and said indifferently, Lily, you don't really want to get back together with me. You're just not used to it. Not used to having no one to care for you. Not used to having no one to arrange everything for you. After you left me, everything around you is a mess. No, it's not like that. I'm learning to cook by myself. I'm learning to live by myself. I'm learning to plan our future. I'm really learning. Lily stared at me blankly, her eyes already red and swollen from crying. But why didn't you wait for me? Why are you with someone else? I was a bit helpless. Lily, no one stays stagnant. If there is, it's only because she can't let go. I opened the door and went in. Before closing it, I looked at Lily, who stayed in place, her expression unclear for the last time. Don't mess with my life anymore. After that day, I didn't hear from Lily for a long time. Just when I let my guard down, thinking she had given up, I didn't expect the story she wrote about us online caused a stir. She told our story on the internet, how we met, got to know each other, and fell in love. She wrote about flying halfway across the city to take me to see fireworks from a helicopter while I was in a bad mood because I couldn't get used to going out. She wrote about spending 5 years teaching herself various cuisines, tolerating all my tempers, accepting all my flaws. She called me her confidence, her source. The responses online were mostly about sweet relationships and blessings. When will I have such sweet love? They must stay together. Otherwise, I won't believe in love. Watching fireworks from a helicopter. So that's how you rich folks play. Until she updated another post not long ago. We broke up. He's getting married. They're well matched in social and economic status. One sentence brought fans' emotions to a climax. My favorite couple just broke up like this. What do you mean by well matched in social and economic status these days? Is there something wrong with this guy? If you want to be well matched, why did you date the blogger? Is the blogger your trial run or just a hobby during your single period? This third party interfering in others' relationships is ridiculous. Originally, her comments could only spark small discussions, but unexpectedly, several famous bloggers reposted her video and commented, "The pastime of the rich. Dating a first love for 5 years but asking for a well-matched marriage on the eve of the wedding, the online public opinion went crazy." And the question, is it important to be well-matched in social and economic status? Went straight to the hot search. Personal info of Mia and me was also dug up. I checked everything online. My face went gloomy. When Lily called me from someone else's phone, my secretary was showing me the attacks on me and the company by fans and random people on the internet. "Alex, I didn't mean for this to happen online. Bella made me open an account to record it." I never thought this would happen. Lily's somewhat choked voice came from the other end. I pressed my temples, my voice cold. "Whether you did it on purpose or not, only you know. But the trouble you've caused for me, Mia, and the company has already happened. I know, as long as you get back with me, I'll explain it online. You know." No sense. Online public opinion. I did all this for you. Alex, I can't lose you. It was all my fault before. Can we get back together? I listened to her words, a little dazed. I still remember our 1-year anniversary. Lily took me to a small, unknown mountain. She said it was her secret base. The stars were bright that night, but couldn't compare to her bright eyes. She took out a ring and handed it to me. "Alex, I bought this with my part-time job these past few months. Put it on, and you'll be mine." The girl in front of me was unabashed, eyes full of hope for the future. I carefully picked up the ring, my voice a bit hoarse. "Okay." The wind was gentle that day. Lily leaned on my shoulder, enthusiastically planning our future. "Alex, what if we break up in the future?" Before I could answer, she spat out, "It's impossible. We will never break up in the future." I looked at puffed-up Lily with some amusement and teased, "Sure, even if we break up, it definitely won't be me who brings it up." Lily pretended to punch me and said fiercely, "Of course, even if we break up, it won't be me who ends it after all. I chased you with all my might." The mountain breeze gently blew, carrying my laughter. "Okay, let's stay together forever." But it only took 5 years, just 5 years, and everything changed. "Alex, you still love me, right? Let's get back together." I listened to the familiar yet strange voice on the other end, came back to my senses, and said word for word, "I don't love you anymore. You were the one who let go first. I warned you last time." "I don't love you anymore. You were the one who let go first. I warned you last time. Don't mess with my life anymore. You don't have a chance anymore. Lily." I hung up the phone. The beautiful girl in my memory seemed to wear a mask full of fangs, no longer the same as before. On the other side, Mia also sent me a message. "Mr. Lee, your ex-girlfriend really can't chill. The pic below shows some provocative words Lily said to her on WeChat, and that Lily had been stalking me for 3 days." I calmly typed, "Keep the evidence and call the police. After all, the internet isn't a lawless place. Rumor spreaders should pay a price." Maybe Lily didn't expect that Mia and I would choose to call the cops at the police station. Lily hung her head low, her long dark hair messy, hiding her expression. This woman has been stalking me a lot recently, disrupting my life and seriously harassing me. Also, she's been threatening me on WeChat. Mia took out the backed-up chat data and put it on the table. Not only that, Lily has publicly slandered, insulted, and defamed me and my boyfriend online, leading people who don't know the truth to cyberbullying. I hope Miss Lou can publicly apologize to us online. Alex is not your boyfriend. He's mine. You stole him from me. Lily couldn't help but stand up. I instinctively stood in front of Mia. Lily looked up blankly, her eyes slightly red, looking at me somewhat pleadingly. Alex, say something. Is she lying? I looked at Lily and said coldly, Miss Lou, we've been broken up for about half a year. Your actions have seriously threatened me and my girlfriend. I hope you can apologize publicly. A shiny tear appeared in Lily's deep eyes. She squatted down, hands covering her face, her back convulsing, sobbing loudly. After recording, Mia and I left the police station, listening to the crying from inside the room. A strange feeling surged in my heart. 5 years ago, we were inseparable, deeply in love. 5 years later, everything changed, and it all ended. The atmosphere felt oppressive. Mia looked at me and raised her eyebrows slightly. I'm just an ordinary person who got involved. Mr. Lee, you should treat me to a meal to make up for it. You haven't spoken for so long. You're not reluctant, are you? For a moment, the oppressive atmosphere vanished. I was somewhat amused and shook the car keys in my hand. Let's go. Let's treat Miss Yu to a big meal. Soon, Lily's punishment came through. She was detained for 10 days and fined for fabricating facts and slandering others. And she had to publicly apologize online on my side. I also issued a statement and sent a few of the most active leading influencers to jail for spreading rumors. With a two-pronged approach, public opinion quickly turned. Netizens criticized Lily's behavior. When public opinion was one-sided, Mia criticized Lily's actions. With public opinion turning in our favor, Mia bought a yacht and invited me to go out to sea to relax. There were dozens of people in the group, all good friends in the circle. The deck of the yacht was covered with exquisite wooden floors. I stood on the deck with a glass of wine, admiring the blue sea and the brilliant sunset. Why are you coming out? A languid female voice came from behind. I turned my head slightly and looked back. Mia was coming over with a glass of wine. I took a sip. It's a bit stuffy inside. I came out for some fresh air. My dad just sent me a message. He can't stop praising you. Home. The climax of the public opinion war. Launching the products of the two companies, using the hype to open the market for the goods, the current sales were through the roof. I slightly curved my lips, without saying a word. Mia looked at the sunset and sighed. After a while, flowers always bloom toward the sun, and people always move forward. I looked at the slight tension on Mia's face and her covert advice and suddenly laughed. What are you laughing at? Mia's ears turned slightly red and she looked a bit embarrassed. I've let go a long time ago. I looked at Mia and said word for word. I'm not a heartless person, but I'm not a sentimental person either, let alone this kind of excessive sentimentality after breaking up. It's good that you can understand. Mia awkwardly smoothed her hair. I paused, just about to say something else. Watch out. Suddenly, a big wave came from the sea. The yacht was hit violently, and Mia was also hit by the inertia. I instinctively held her, and for a moment the warmth from my shoulder lingered. My heartbeat seemed to stop for a beat, then vibrated rapidly like a drum. After everything calmed down, Mia emerged from my arms, the faint blush on her face showing her inner unrest at the moment. I'm sorry, Mia. I reassured her. It's okay. She looked up at me, a strange emotion flashing in her eyes. As if staking everything, she leaned her head up and touched my lips. It was just a simple touch, but it made me stunned for a moment. However, the next moment, It was as if the valve had been opened instantly. The kiss fell gently. The tender kiss gradually turned into intertwining between our eyelids. In a daze, the strange tide gradually drowned my senses after a long time. The lingering kiss on the lip finally stopped. Mia was panting slightly, staring into my eyes. She hooked up a smile and said, "Are we getting real from pretending? My hand was holding your waist, but I really fell in love. To see the breeze was gently blowing and the sea was rippling in the vast space." I heard Mia say, "What a coincidence, so did I." After a short while, Mia and I started planning the engagement date and wedding. But to my surprise, the first thing Lily did after getting out of detention was to come to me. "Alex, let's talk." She stood next to my car, pleading. "Sorry, I'm really busy." I signaled the driver to drive away, but Lily stopped in front of the car. "I won't bother you much. I'm going back to my hometown soon. I just want to say goodbye to you in the past." After Lily got out of detention, she was no longer as spoiled and headstrong as before. She seemed crushed by something. I glanced at my watch and said lightly, "5 minutes." Lily said with a bitter smile, "If I hadn't sent the wrong message back then, would our ending be different from now?" Unfortunately, there are no ifs in life and no regret medicine. Everyone has to pay for what they do. Lily, the wrong message you sent was just a chance. Maybe even fate wanted us to break up. Lily suddenly shook her head, panicking. No, I didn't really want to break up with you. I just felt that we'd been together for 5 years, too long, and there was no passion like before. Love wore away, all that was left was habit." Her lips were pursed, and though she tried hard not to cry, tears kept falling. I said mockingly, "Love is always love. You think it's a habit, then love's spot is vacated, so another person will appear. So once love turns into a habit, the relationship is over, and you think so because you're tired." She sobbed. "I don't know why it's like this." Annette told me, "You're older than me. You have more choices. If I do a little, you'll pay more attention to me. But I don't know why. The more I get to the end, the more presumptuous I become, until I push you to someone else with my own hands." By the end of Lily's speech, she was incoherent and crying nonstop. I looked at Lily expressionlessly and said sarcastically, "Did I not give you enough sense of security? So you had to listen to others." "No, I don't know why I was so obsessed at that time. I really regret it." I interrupted her. 5 minutes are up. Next month is my engagement party with Mia. I'm not so generous to invite you, and everything between us has ended. I hope you don't mess with us in the future." Lily stood there as pale as death. I raised my hand to signal the driver to drive. As the car passed Lily, I heard her whisper, "I'm sorry, whether to you or Mia." The cool night breeze blew by. Everything was over. But a new chapter was just beginning.